Hi there, Marina. Nice to see more essays from you. Let's get right into corrections so we can see what you said. Okay, it's the internet and whether it is a positive or a negative development. Let's see what you had to say about this. Okay, nowadays the usage of the internet is essential to the majority for daily activities like shopping, business, and even human interaction. Consequently, there is no need for personal communication anymore. In my opinion, I believe that the internet has many benefits, but also can be very detrimental for the humanity. This essay examines this question from both points of view through examples from Harvard and Oxford University, and then gives my own perspective. Okay, that's lovely. I liked it. The structure is exactly what it's supposed to be. You answer the question. It says, to what extent do you support this development? And is it a negative or positive? You answer that very directly. So as far as introduction is concerned, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. Initially, the usage of the internet can increase the living standard and make actions such as shopping much faster and easier. Okay. People do not have to leave their homes to get new clothes, food, speak with their family members and friends, or even to make business. No, we don't make business, we do business. Excuse me, we do business. A recent study from Harvard University illustrated that approximately 50% of people in main cities, for example New York, just leave their homes for immediate, not immediately, but immediate medical reasons. Now here you need a word of contrast. While everything else they organize over the internet. Therefore, it makes the daily living more comfortable and less stressful. All right, lovely. That's, the structure is exactly what it's supposed to be doing. You had an introductory sentence, and then you it linked back to your last sentence. You had a solid main idea. You backed it up with an example, so I'm happy with that. Okay. On the other hand, to downsize the face-to-face contact, well, I don't know about to downsize. I think better here would be the ing form of this. So let's make it. On the other hand, downsizing face-to-face, well, I'm not even sure about downsizing. It's not something we downsize. It's not like a company or something that is downsized. Maybe a better word would be reducing. Okay? So, reducing the face-to-face, not the face-to-face, but just in general face-to-face. So let's try one more time. On the other hand, reducing face-to-face contact can cause serious physical and mental health problems. People can feel isolated, although you don't need a comma after although they have a lot of friends on social media websites such as Facebook. All right, you know what's happening here? You've got three separate ideas. People can feel isolated, and then they have a lot of friends, and then they don't have deep relationships with each other. And so, these two actually are more closely joined. So let's try to do something different here, okay? So something like, people can feel isolated as they do not have deep relationships with each other, although they have a lot of friends on social media websites such as Facebook. Okay, so do you see what I did? You had a negative, a positive, and a negative idea. So I put the negative ideas together, and I combined them with the positive idea via a linking device of contrast. So furthermore, they also lose the demand for physical activities because they do not need to. Need to what? They do not need them. They do not need to engage in them. The need to, if you're going to use ellipsis like this, I need to know what verb this refers to somehow. A survey conducted is the best word here. A survey conducted in 2016 from Oxford University depicts that within, since the rise of the internet, the rates of mentally ill and obese people have risen dramatically from 20% to over 50% of citizens in England. As a consequence, the excessive use of the internet can be harmful for people's health status. Okay, let me see something back here. Okay, fine. In conclusion, to utilize the internet for essential needs can make life easier and more comfortable. However, this behavior can lead to social isolation, mental problems, and physical health issues. Therefore, I believe the disadvantages outweigh, without the R. Outweigh is a verb. So the disadvantages outweigh the advantages, and it is predicted to get worse if the internet is used for all daily activities. Okay, now check this out. Here, you said, I believe that it has many benefits, but can be detrimental. So when I read that, I thought that you meant that it has more positives than it has negatives. It turns out that you mean the opposite. So instead, what you want to say is something like, despite the internet's many benefits, I believe it can be detrimental to humanity. So do you see how you change the focus with something like that? So if that's the case, then your order of your paragraphs is fine, okay? You talk about the positives here, and then you talk about the negatives here, because it sounds like the negatives are more important to you. That's what you feel more strongly about. Oops, I did it again. Wait, where are you? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, because you said they outweigh. So the order of your paragraphs is fine, but you just needed to change that sentence there where you talked about your opinion. Let's go now to your task 1. This one is kind of tricky. I've seen a lot of people have a problem with it because it's kind of difficult to focus on the trends, but let's see what you had to say about it. Okay. So the line graph shows the weather conditions related to rain from January till June and the predicted rainfall from July till December this year in 3 different countries. Okay, it is measured in milliliters. So good news is of all the essays I've read, yours is the only one that talks about this prediction here. So well done. I wouldn't have said this. This just feels a little awkward to me. So the line graph shows the, what does it say up here? Okay, how about the amount of rain? So not the condition, because that's inaccurate. It's not talking about the condition of rain. It's talking about the amount. So since it's talking about milliliters. So I would have said that instead. But I'm glad that you mentioned that it's a prediction. Okay, so according to the first 6 months, in January, you could have put a comma there, Wales started with the smallest rate at just under 50 ml, while England began, wrong tense here, with roughly 100, and Scotland with around 115. Lovely. This is how I always advise students to start. Like, you're telling a story, so tell me what those figures are in the first part, and that's exactly what you should be doing, so good job. Okay, let's see. Wales then grew to approximately 75 ml in February and experienced a decrease to about 25 in April. It then reached a peak from well over 100 and ended with 50 ml in June. Okay, England depicts a slight, not slightly, that's an adverb. You don't use an adverb in front of a noun. Oscillation with around 25 ml. I wouldn't have said this word here at all. And stands at, not by, but stands at around 75 in June, while Scotland experienced dramatic waves with almost 100 ml difference between the months and ended with roughly 90 ml in June. Okay, that's lovely. It's interesting. I haven't seen this essay written like this before, where you separate it from the beginning of the year to the present, but I like it. I mean, it's very clear to me, so let's see how you continue. All 3 countries will keep on, I don't know why you're saying palpitating, will keep on fluctuating, I think is what you mean, through July to December. Wales will reach a plateau with approximately 45 ml from August to October. That's true, good. And we'll finish with slightly over 50 ml in December, whereas Scotland will end the year with just over 100 and 130 ml. Overall, there is great fluctuation. You don't need an here. In every country over the year. While England had and will have the greatest amount of rainfall throughout 2018, Wales had and is going to experience the least amount, not fewest amount. Let's see. Okay, I don't have advice for you. I really liked the way you organized it. It was so easy to read. Most of the times I need to refer back to the chart or graph or whatever to understand what people are trying to say. I didn't have to do that. Your way of constructing this was really, it was lovely. I mean, I really liked it. No, I wouldn't have changed anything. I have to be really honest with you. I like what you did. There were just those little silly grammatical things, but nothing that takes away from the communicative content of this task 1. So, did I feel it was long? No. I mean, remember that the minimum is 150 words. This was clearly over that. My only concern would be that you had enough time and that this didn't take you any more than 20 minutes. If it did, then that's something you need to work on reducing your time. But as far as the content is concerned and the way you organized your answers and the grammar and the vocabulary you used, I mean, bar some inaccuracies, I really like this. So, well done. Keep on writing. Correct these essays for the little mistakes that they had, and send them back to us with your error correction list. And I'm looking forward to see what you'll write for us next.